What you want? What you want? Come on. What you want? What you want?
What's going on, everybody? It's Pharaoh Black. I'm bringing you another review. This time is of the Mazinkaiser Super Robot Chogokin figure by Bandai. I always have a problem saying Chogokin. See, I don't even think I said it right that time. Anyway, what that basically means is that the figure is majority die-cast metal. In my experience, most of these figures, they're pretty good, so I was pretty stoked to get this one, and I think this is one of the best designs for these robots. I love this design. One thing though, I don't know much about the series because I don't really watch it. Hell, not even really watch it. I don't watch it. It's one of those things where, you know, you see the figure, you say, "Whoa, that looks nice." I don't know nothing about it, but I'm damn sure going to get it, and that's what happened. I collect the import figures, and I mean outside of just things that are introduced to us here in America, but I mean I really don't know too much about this. He looks somewhat like a American cartoon we had here, well, Japanese cartoon brought over to America called Transwar Z. So yeah, anyway, this is the box showing off the figure. Nice artwork. I'm not going to even go into the box. I'm going to go right into what's inside the box. Over here in this tray, you have the actual Mazinkaiser. His accessories include this piece, which is a backpack. That plug there, which I don't know what it does yet because I'm just now opening it for the review, so we're going to figure that out together. 2 open hands, 2 hands for holding the sword robot himself. 2 giant wings, 2 smaller wings, giant sword, and a sword handle. So, oh, don't let me forget, it came with instructions. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a peep at these instructions. I'm going to pop them out of the tray, and I'll be right back with you. Alright, look at the instructions, so I officially know what to do. Now, this is the robot. I know, doesn't look like much standing there, but I'm an ACBA artist. Trust me, when I get done, it's going to look like $1 million. I'm going to run over the articulation with you really quickly, and then we're going to, you know, see if this figure is actually worth buying. So, now, being an import, these things get a little tricky. The head articulation, he does not have any backwards head movement, meaning he cannot look up. I know that sucks, right? Not a big deal though, I don't think. He can look down. Now he utilizes looks to be a triple joint method, or the way they set it up at least looks like a triple joint. What I mean by that is that the actual head moves on the peg. It moves on the peg, like so. Now, the mid neck in there, that piece moves as well, and the inner neck. So you're able to look down with it, rock back and forth, and turn it, and you know, you get a good range. It's just you can't look up with it, which is kind of crazy. The spikes on the head, they are movable. I think, now don't quote me on this, but I think it has something to do with actually being able to pose this figure looking in certain directions with these big wings, because these wings are actually articulated as well. And I think those are articulated because of how big the shoulders are. Now, what's going on with these shoulders are, one, you got a hand to lean them all the way forward. You can bring these shoulders forward like that. It's going to leave some gaps when you do it, but I think it's more for, you know, when you look at it from whatever direction or making it do whatever it is you need to do by using those joints. So it's not going to be that bad for you. Also, now you're going to have a shoulder pad that is on a hinge, and then you have the actual joint here that moves as well. So you're able to do that, move that up, move it up even further. You're also probably able to move it out. I don't want to break it. Let's see, let's bring it down. And okay, see, you do have a joint under there. So what you're able to do is you're able to collapse that joint in while that is out, bring it down, bring the whole entire shoulder out. Interesting. Anyway, you're able to move the arm totally up. You don't have to really be worried about all of these joints, because now that one here, that one's plastic, but under the arm, that's all die cast metal, so that's not going to break on you. As far as elbows and everything go, well, you have the elbow swivels right there. That's the actual joint at the top moving. The reason that moves is because you can actually take it apart, and there are effects pieces where he shoots off his fist and everything, or his forearm, and you're able to attach those effect pieces there. He has the bend there, only to right there, as far as you're going to get it to bend. But then he has a joint here, if you couldn't tell, and it's going to allow you to bend the arm all the way up like that. So get a good range of movement there. I was pretty pleased with that. Wrist, they're only a ball joint. They're only going to do that. They're not going to do nothing or anything major, but you know, they're on that peg, so you can swap the hands out and everything else. Now when you get here, you're able to extend this body piece up. I don't know if you can see that joint in there, but you're able to extend it up so you can move the figure forward more. So you can bend them down like that by extending that piece up. Put it back down. He's able to turn at the waist. He has more movement at the waist. I just, I'm not going to lie to you, when dealing with die cast, see, you can turn it there. But dealing with die cast and dealing with these paint apps, you kind of want to be careful. You don't really want to scratch anything up trying to handle this toy, in any other way but the way that you should. You have two ball joints here. Now, as you can see, the legs can go up and down at that joint. They're able to move outward, back down, outward that way, back in. They twist there, the leg. You're going to have a small joint in there where, see, you can also do that for whatever reason, but I'm sure if they make him do that, you're going to end up using that joint. As far as the knees go, you're going to have a double hinge here and there. The top doesn't really use, you don't really use it that much, but you do use the second one. Now, if you paid attention, you heard a click. These pieces here are what clicked. Show you. See, you don't have to worry about tearing that up. That's the way it's supposed to go. So the feet, you're able to pull down that joint. You're able to get that rocker motion there. It's pretty good. You're able to turn it. You're able to bend the whole entire foot there. So I mean, you get a pretty good range of motion out of this robot. As far as paint apps and everything go, as you see, it's a nice shiny black, very deep, dark in color. Nice silver. The silver is flawless. Seriously, I mean, it's excellent. I love the silver. I love the gold accents. You have the clear jewel there. You have them on the insides of the shoulder pads. Everything is like just nicely painted. The blues, the reds, everything. So it's pretty nice. As far as the accessories go, like I showed you, he comes with this little bit, which I finally figured out what that was for by reading the instructions. It's for you to stick it in his butt, as nasty as that sounds, because you're able to hook the stage or the stand up to that and it'll hold him up. Didn't come with one, but I'm sure you can buy one from someplace. I don't have one, and the figure, like I said, is die cast, so it's heavy. Everything is metal, mostly, especially his legs. This is all solid metal, so he's pretty sturdy, and he's heavy. Sword. Let's back it up. Nice jewel in the middle with a Z. Same as in his chest. This sword is actually able to come apart at the hilt. You have a nice piece of metal that sticks in and stays in. Reason being is his sword holding hand, which, let's swap this hand out. It's very easy to swap the hands out. Now what I recommend that you do, so you don't, because all of these little pieces, all these little sharp points, they're really sharp. They don't just look like it. I suggest that you detach the arm, lightly pull on the hand, rotate that back on till it's nice and snug, detach the handle, go from the underway, and it's a nice groove in there, so once you get the hilt in, you're able to actually snap it into place. Put it back, and he holds it pretty good. And it's nice shiny gold, nice shiny silver for the blade. I would have liked for it to be metallic maybe, but it's not a big deal. That's just, a personal preference. But it's pretty damn good. I like it a lot, and he holds it pretty well. It's fairly light, so you don't really have to worry about him dropping it, or it's a thin piece of plastic though. Know that. So he will definitely he will break this thing. Well, you will break it rather, not him. But if you're not handling it correctly. So he also has open hands. Nothing major with open hands. But if you guys want to see them, let's do what I did for the other side. And note, see, not following my own rules, I pulled the peg out of the actual bracket that it goes into for the wrist. So you really want to be careful with that. Be very careful. We would not want you to break this figure, especially seeing that they're pretty expensive. $70 for this figure. Click the link below, you can grab you one up. So actually, that was pretty nice. If you do happen to pop that piece out and you drop this ring out of the arm, you can actually get the figure into some better poses with the wrist. But I wouldn't recommend that, seeing that you're not supposed to do that. But I just noticed I did it, and that's what happened. Anyway, you also have the backpack here. Now this backpack is pretty nicely detailed. Red, gold, a little bit of blue, a little bit of silver back here on the boosters, and it just plugs into the hole in this back. Just carefully pop it in, and all right. So what you want to do is you're going to take these wings. Those are the little pegs, and you're going to turn them around. And now the wings don't face backwards. If you notice, they have this scoop or dip in them. They don't face outward that way. They actually face the opposite way. So you're just going to simply plug them in very carefully. They're going to go in like that, and then when you push a little harder, you should hear it click. There it is. Same with the other side. And this figure is definitely, I'm going to take this out. It is definitely not made for a child. So if you're gonna if you handle your figures and your toys like children, it's not really for you. Same thing with these lower wings. They have a scoop to them. You want the scoop to face outward this way. So what you're gonna do is, they're a little easier to plug in. Plug those in like so. Now with this, let me back out a little bit. With this, the articulation and the ball joints they get a little tricky. You can raise this upward like this, or you can bring it back down. You want to twist this piece on the outer joint, that piece on the inner joint, and now you can have it going in and out like bat wings. Same thing for these lower wings. They work the same. So I think that's pretty nice. And you just plug it back in. And this is probably the reason why you're going to need one of those stages, because you're going to want to have them flying once in a while or so. You're going to definitely need one. Let me put everything down the way it's supposed to be. And that's what he looks like with his wings on. I think he looks pretty cool, you know. It's pretty nice. So last but not least, you're going to get the giant sword. Now I'm not going to put it in his hand. This sword is way bigger than the normal sword, as you see. This sword is for a dramatic effect. So he can hold the sword outward towards the camera or something, or towards you like this, and it looks like it's like, whoa, like, you know, like he does in the anime. I've seen pictures of it. It works the same as the other sword. Handle plugs in from the bottom. So that's about it. Super Chogokin Mazinkaiser figure. If you want one, click the link in the description under the review. There's $69.99 at Big Bad Toy Store. I think that if you're a anime fan, if you like giant robots and such, you won't be disappointed by this figure at all. I just got it in today. I love it. You might have to take a cloth and clean it off some, because when you touch it, the paint is so crisp, you're going to see fingerprints on it. But besides that, I have no complaints with this figure at all. I do recommend it if you collect anime or you like giant robots, like I said. So with that being said, this is Feral Black, and as always, peace and love.
That's crispy.